Sleep is one of the most important factors into living a healthy and balanced life. However, as we grow up, we soon realize that acquiring adequate and quality sleep is a task in and of itself. Welcome everybody to our presentation of our final project for HCI, and today we're going to discuss how our proposed intervention, Sleeper, can mitigate and aid in fixing sleep-related issues. Sleep is very important. As mentioned before, it is one of the most important parts of living a healthy life. It allows the body to rest and repair. Out of all the things that a human goes through on a daily basis, sleep is the opportunity for the body to focus on itself and fix any possible issues. As such, not getting proper sleep will lead to difficulties. Now, sleeping disorder are any conditions that might prevent an individual from acquiring the necessary sleep to live a healthy life. It includes many possible conditions such as snoring and insomnia, and its causes may vary from medical conditions, stress, or the introduction of a new stimulus or environment. To learn more from this subject, we will get a very substantial insight from Mr. Earl.
Sleep disorder is a medical disorder that affects a person's sleep pattern. There are sleep disorders that are serious that can affect a person's daily lives and severe enough to affect their physical, mental, and emotional functioning. Sleep disorders are classified by many: dysomnias, parasomnias, and others that can disrupt the timing of sleep. When a person struggles to fall asleep or stay asleep, it is referred to as insomnia. The most common sleep disorder. Sleep disorders or sleep disruption can be caused by a variety of issues. These include teeth grinding and sometimes night terrors. The sleep disorder are both common to children and adults. However, there is a significant lack of attention when it comes to children with sleep disorders. Sleeping disorder where people have trouble in sleeping, staying asleep, and having a healthy and orderly sleeping schedule. They have difficulty in falling asleep and staying asleep.
Okay, so what might be the possible consequences of not acquiring adequate sleep?
Insomnia is typically followed with daytime sleepiness, tired throughout the day, and wanting to sleep throughout the day.
Okay.
Low energy, especially throughout the morning. It also causes irritability and a depressed mood and tends to make a person grumpier. These problems that a person with insomnia can encounter may result in higher risk in accidents, like vehicle accidents. It may also cause problems in focusing and learning. The more sleep the person gets, the better sleep they get. But it is not in every case. There are times where a person gets enough sleep, but their sleep quality is not that good. For example, a bad sleeping posture, sleeping on an uncomfortable bed, too hot or too cold environment, and other examples. Usually, with bad sleep quality, tends to lead to a bad quantity of sleep. If a person is sleeping in an uncomfortable environment, they would not sleep throughout their slumber, causing the difficulty in staying asleep.
Understanding sleeping disorder is important in addressing the issue, but how relevant is it really? How much of the population is affected? Well, according to the study of Roth conducted in 2007, around 35% of the total population of adults is affected by insomnia or any other type of sleeping disorder. As such, multiple methods have been developed throughout the years. This includes more scientific ways such as medications and prescription drugs, while alternatives also exist, including yoga, reading, and meditation.
Having a good environment to sleep at will help insomnia and other sleep disorders. Having comfortable beds, cool and quiet room, a person will have no hard time falling asleep and staying asleep. With this, they can have a complete amount of sleep, the good sleep experience.
Furthermore, researchers at FEU Tech were able to develop a new software called Sleeper. Sleeper is designed to aid individuals with issues regarding their sleep. It records and stores sleep-related information for analyzation by the user or any other experts within the field. We have invited Jetro Dane Badar to explain what are the features of Sleeper.
Our first feature is the snore detector. Snoring is one of the common things that we encounter to others or even by ourselves. Snoring is an act of making a sound or snorting while asleep. Snoring is frequently a symptom of a larger problem. If the user snores every night, it is a sign that the air isn't flowing freely through the user nose and throat and that the user has some obstruction in the user breathing pathways. So, our software makes a system that as long as the app is on, it will detect if the user snores.
So, after recording the snoring, what will be the next step within the system, within the program?
After time of sleep, the app will notify the user on how frequent the snore is, then the loudness of it. After the user sleep, the app will show data to the user about his or her snoring. Our next feature is the quick access. This feature will let the user access the system by just one click if the user disrupted in the user's sleep, and it will be automatically recorded in the user's own profile's data.
It should also be noted that there are timers set for every functions to serve as a safety precaution in case of human error. For example, if the user falls asleep before recording the stop of a disruption, it'll automatically stop after 2 minutes.
This will lead us into our next feature, the personal profile. The next feature is the profile section. In profile section, it will show the user's data records that the app gathered in the user's sleep in the past. And only the user can see it, but the user can share it if they want. It will also track the user data if the user's sleep habit is improving or degrading.
So it was noted here that there are guides and recommendations that the user or the system will produce. So how will the system achieve this task successfully?
Our next feature is the pre and post guide. In this section, pre and post guide, the app will give the user tips before and after the user sleep based on the user personal records. And the last but not the least, our last feature, the consultation by professional. This app is not just a simple sleep tracker. It is also a virtual community. The user can encounter people who have the same situation as him or her. And the most important thing is there are professionals that cooperates in this app that people can approach. This is one of the most important features.
Sleeper is an easy-to-use software. In essence, it is divided into 3 parts. First, it marks and records the sleep time and all other variables involved. Second, it allows the user and all other stakeholders to view the data. Third, the system allows the user to tap into the help of licensed professionals for recommendation and guidance. Here is how the app will function. The user will call upon the start function to start a 10 minutes timer. After the 10 minutes timer has expired, the user is yet to fall asleep because his dogs are bothering him. So he'll mark it as a disruption and it'll start a 5 minutes timer. After the 5 minutes timer, he did not respond to the notification of the system, so it assumes that the user has fallen asleep already. After waking up, the user can review the data and analyze it to determine what will be his next move. The user can review the data and compare his sleep that he had tonight to the quality and quantity that he had on the past. And since his dogs were always active during the night, his sleep weren't really improving and was always disturbed. The user can analyze the data thoroughly and he can also ask for help from medical practitioners. Here, his professional advice is that he get rid of his dog during his sleep time. However, he cannot do that because he loves his dog so much and it was not a viable option. So the user just accepted that he'll never have proper sleep in his whole life. However, As with any software, this program has its fair share of capabilities and limitations. To learn more, we call upon Theodore Carlyle to explain this subject.
Hello, I am Theodore Carlyle and I am presenting to you the capabilities and limitations of our software. Here is the functions of our mobile application and here are the capabilities and limitations of our user.
Who are the users here? Are they the patients only or are they all the stakeholders involved?
Our user are the patient and the doctor. The first is the display of patient's information. Both of the patient and the doctor have access, are capable in accessing this function. Next is this display of patients' everyday and weekly records. Both of the users also has access in this function. And the third is the send reminders to patient. Both of them also has capabilities to access this function. So the fourth one is the edit of the patient's medical records. Only the doctor has access in this function and the patient has its limitations for accessing this function. And the next is delete reminders to patients set by the doctor. It is also the same as the previous function, only the doctor has the capability of accessing this function. And next is this delete reminders to patient set by the patient. Only the patient, this is vice versa of the last function, only the patient has access and the doctor doesn't have access in this function. And the last one is the configure how long the snooze of the reminders will take. The patient has the capability of accessing this because he or she has his or her own personal preferences on how long the reminders should be snoozed.
Thank you so much. That was very good. But can you add on to the limitations of the software? What are the limitations of the software? What can you access? What can you do? And what can't you do?
So in addition to limitations, users may sometimes forget to click the stop button since the patient may still be drowsy. And another limitation regards to switching the device on or off after waking up from a deep sleep.
In essence, to add to what Theodore has said, the limitations of this software is that it may miss timekeeping in a matter of minutes, although the accuracy is dependable at most and it is respectable. It'll miss it by a matter of minutes, and it's not really accuracy. Second is that since it is done digitally, it is less substantial when compared to physical examinations, and as such, prescription for prescription drugs cannot be created. That's it. So, as discussed, Sleeper is a very good software to be used by individuals who are looking to improve on their sleeping schedule, sleeping habits, and overall quality of sleep. It is good for gathering data that will be later on be utilized for analyzations and for recommendations. However, it should be noted that Sleeper should not be seen as a cure to a sleeping disorder, but rather should only be seen as a supplementary or as a tool that will aid in the overall improvement of the quality and quantity of sleep. Sleeper is not the solution itself, but rather it improves the solution by providing all the stakeholders with accurate data. That's all. Thank you, everyone.